All right, this is problem number 2 on the review for test number 3. Please note that the uniform plate was supposed to have a weight of 500 pounds. It might have said 5,000 pounds on your paper, but make sure that's 500. So I've already drawn my free body diagram over here. The only thing you might want to note, not to forget, is that the weight, which acts in the middle of the plate, is 500 pounds. Other than that, you should be able to have everything on this free body diagram because the ropes are just cables, so they're always in tension, they're always going to go up. So everything else should be able to be the same. So let's work on the problem now. So I need to solve for these 3 forces. But I can do the sum of the moments in the x and the sum of the moments in the y, but I can't do the sum of the moments in the z because everything is in the z direction, so it wouldn't give me any information. So instead, what I'm going to do is do the sum of the forces in the z direction and use that as one of my problems. So if I do the sum of the forces in the z direction, I'm going to have f of a plus f of b plus f of c minus 200 and minus 500 for its weight, all equals 0. So if I rewrite that equation, so I'm going to put the scalar numbers on the right side because for this problem we're going to end up having to use the matrix solution. So I'm going to rewrite this as FA plus FB plus FC equals 700. All right, next I'm going to sum the moments. We can either do the x or the y direction. I already told you why we can't do the z because it gives us no information. So let's do the x direction. So then the moments in the x direction equals 0. And going in the x direction, I'm not going to have anything from f of b because it goes through the axis. So I'm going to have f of c, it's going to be positive from f of c, and it is 3 feet away. Then I've got the 200-pound force, which is going to be negative 200, and it is 3 feet away also. It's all the way on the side. Then I have the weight, which is going to be minus 500. It's only half of the distance, so it's only 1.5. And then the last thing I've got is from f of a, which is going to be positive, and it is also 3 away, equals 0. So with that, I'm going to get 3f of a plus 3f of c. I'm going to put all of my scalars on the other side of the equation to come to 1350. And then I've got my moments in the y direction. So if you are watching this video, I'm going to tell you that you are not going to have to use the matrix math that we're going to use for this one. You just need to understand how to sum the moments in each of the directions and sum the forces in the z direction. And you'll be able to solve for it on the test. So if you're watching, little note for you. So I'm going to have the 200-pound force in the y direction. I don't have anything from f of a because it goes through y, but I'm going to have the 200-pound force, and it is 2 feet away. And then I'm going to have the force from the weight, which is also positive, 500, and it is also going to be 2 feet away because half the whole distance. Then I'm going to have the impact from f of c, which is negative, and it is the full distance away, which is 4. And then I'm going to have negative f of b, which is also 4, equals 0. So if I rewrite that equation, I'm going to have 4f of b plus 4 of f of c, and all my scalars on the right side are 1400. So now I'm going to need to use my matrix math unless you want to somehow do substitution, which you can do. Just takes a little minute longer. I'm going to do my matrix math, so I'm going to write my matrix. I'm going to have f of A, f of B, and f of C. So for my first equation, I'm going to have 1 in each of them. In my second equation, I've got 3f of A, no f of B, 3f of C. In my fourth equation, I've got no f8, 4fb, and 4fc. All right, to the -1, and then I put my scalar numbers in, which I'm going to have 700 on the first one. It was on the right side. On the second one, I have 1350, and on the third one, I have 1400. If I plug all that into my magic calculator, I get 350, 250, and 100. Which means that my answers are that FA equals 350 pounds, FB equals 250 pounds, and FC equals 100 pounds. Like I said, if you listen to this, you will know that you do not have to do this on the test. You will be able to solve for each of them in each equation on the test. This is just for practice. All right,